Why, hello there. We have some breaking news today. Elden Ring is getting a Colosseum update tomorrow on December 7th. This is a free DLC for Elden Ring. Does that sound familiar? Called. This DLC will feature the arenas, the Colosseums as we talked about, and there will be duels, there will be team battles, and there will be free-for-alls. And most excitingly for me, there will be Pokemon battles, where you get to use your Spirit Ashes while you're fighting another player. However, there doesn't look to be a PvE aspect of the Colosseums, unlike what we had seen in some of the cut content, so that's a little bit of a bummer as someone who's primarily a PvE person, but it's still a pretty cool update. So what does this mean for the Game Awards in just a couple days, as well as From's dev cycle and what they're working on right now? My musings on this over the past few months are that at any given time, From is usually working on 3 titles that are overlapping each other as their dev cycles, but there's 3 in the works at any given time. And with this being the case, if your typical dev cycle for Fromsoftware games is anywhere from 3 to 5 years at this point, that means there's likely to be a new game being announced soon. But the past few months I've been wondering what will come first, a new game announcement or Elden Ring DLC? Because you don't want your titles competing against each other, you don't want them to have to share the spotlight, but it's around the time we should get DLC, but it's also around the time a new game should be announced, so how will they approach this? And it looks like we have our answer. Although some people think that this DLC announcement, this free Colosseum update is sort of an appetizer for a larger DLC announcement at the Game Awards, I really don't think so. What I think we have here is that the big Elden Ring DLC or DLCs is not ready for prime time yet, but they wanted to announce something for Elden Ring DLC still. They don't want people to be worried that there's no more coming for Elden Ring, so they could get this Colosseum DLC out, and they have, and it's coming out right before the Game Awards. And I think this is being done to keep Elden Ring in people's minds and to get people back into the game, but also this is a good way to give everybody something, and then at the Game Awards announce a new title. And then this gives room for down the road for the larger Elden Ring DLC to be announced at a later date. And that way the hype for each thing is not really crowding into each other, but they can announce everything in a way where they each get their time to shine. So, what are they going to announce at TGA? I am sorry Bloodborne 2 and Sekiro 2 Hopium users, but I think it is Armored Core's time to shine. In January of 2022, so roughly a year ago at this point, there was a supposed leak of some Armored Core stuff, a survey about an upcoming Armored Core title. This included some screenshots and a small description of the game. It looks pretty legit, but as with all of this sort of stuff, take it with a grain of salt. However, on top of this, we also had as far back as 2017, Miyazaki talking about how they would continue to make Armored Core games, and they may even have one in development. On top of this, there's also a freelance artist named Dave Seeley who does concept art for Fromsoftware games, and he posted up on his art station concept art of a mech in a ruined city, and it was labeled as a key image for a Fromsoftware game, and there was no games that it related to, so it seems to be for an upcoming game. It'll be interesting to follow this if I'm correct, because it's interesting how long an Armored Core game would be in development at this point, but I think it is most likely to be what is showing up at the Game Awards in just a couple days. So there you have it. Armored Core is getting a juicy announcement at the TGAs, I think. And then we're getting a cool new DLC for Elden Ring tomorrow with the Colosseums. And then we'll be getting our massive DLC for Elden Ring down the road at a later date. And also, I got my art books in today. So pretty cool. So there you have it. My thoughts on Elden Ring DLC is what this means for the Game Awards and upcoming Fromsoftware titles. Obviously, let me know in the comments your thoughts. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong, and we will see in just a couple days. Thanks for watching.